Hey guys, in this video we are going to talk about different types of inheritance used in Java. So let's start with single inheritance. Single inheritance is a type of inheritance wherein a single class gets inherited from its base class. So let's see how we can implement that. So this is a class A. I have taken a class which acts as a base class, or we can call it as a super class, and then we have class B that extends class A. That means B is a subclass of A. And just to illustrate how single inheritance works out, I will take up only one data member over here, and let me assign the value as 100, and here I will take int y equals to, let's say, 200. Okay, and in the main method I will just create object of class B. So this is how we create object B. Object 1 equals to new B. So this is my object of class B. So using this object 1, we can access the values of both x as well as y. The reason is B is subclass of A. So B will have access to class A's data members and methods. So when we have object of class B, we can access the data members and methods which are there in B, as well as the data members and methods which are there in its superclass, that is, which are there in class A also. So let's try that. I will take a system.out.println statement. Here let's print the value of x. So x's value is this, and similarly I would like to have one more print statement and would like to print y equals to, and here it is. You can observe that we are getting warning messages over here. X cannot be resolved to a variable, y cannot be resolved to a variable. Why are we getting these warnings? This is because x belongs to a class. X belongs to class B, and we have to access that x using the object of the class wherein it is defined, because x is not defined in this demo class. See, we have main method which is defined within demo class, whereas x and y are not declared over here. X and y belong to some other classes. So whenever we are accessing the data members which are there in some other class, we have to use the object name and the dot operator. So here we have to use object 1 dot x. So here the error message or the warning message is gone, and again I'm going to use object 1 dot y. Look at this. One more observation is, we know that x is present in class A and y is present in class B, and we have created object of class B, but using this class B's object I am able to access both the value of x and y. So how this is possible? This is possible because class B is the subclass of class A. So subclass has access to all the methods and the data members of its parent class. So this is possible. So let's run this code. We should get x equals to and y equals to, x equals to 100 and y equals to 200. Yes, we have got this. Now let me change the class over here. I will make it as A, and here it has to be A. That means this time I have created object of class A, and I am trying to access the value of x and y using this object which is of class A. But you can see that we have a error message y cannot be resolved or is not a field. Why we are getting this? Because y is present in class B, which is a subclass, whereas we have created object of class A. So that is a superclass. That means superclasses objects cannot access its subclasses members. So that is not possible. Whereas if you have a subclasses object, you can access the members of its superclass. That's what we did in the previous case. So this is not possible. So let's make it B over here. So using B we can access both of them. So this type of inheritance is called as single inheritance, wherein we have a single class being derived from its base class. So this is a type of inheritance. Then we have another type of inheritance called as multi-level inheritance. In case of multi-level inheritance, a subclass can act as a superclass for some other class. That means we will have different levels of classes being declared over here. For example, in this scenario, we have class A and subclass of this is class B. Now, this class B again can become a superclass for some other class. So that will be called as multi-level. Let's see, class C. This extends class B. So you can see that we have three levels of classes over here. So A is subclass and A is superclass and B is subclass of A and C is subclass of B. So this type of inheritance is called as multi-level. You can have as many levels of inheritance as you want as per your requirement. Let's say I can have a class D that extends C. So this is A and under A there is B and under B there is C and under C there is D. So this type of inheritance is called as multi-level inheritance. So let me take some data members over here. Z equals to, let's say, 300 and in class D also I will take something as A equals to 400. Now here I have created object B, object which is of class B. So I will remove this and I will create object of D. If I create object of D, I can access all the values of its parent classes, because D is the child of all the classes like A, B and C are all the parents of class D. Now let's copy these, and of course you can print all of them in one print statement itself, but I'm using all different print statements. You can do it in one statement itself, x, y, z, and here it's going to be A. It's going to be A. Look at this, we have created object of class D, and using which we are able to access all the members, that is x, y, z and A. This is possible because all of them have been declared in its parent classes. In class D we have A, obviously this is accessible, whereas all other data members are there in the super classes, because D's superclass is C and C's superclass is B and B's superclass is A. So the one which is there at the lowest level can access all the members of its superclasses. So this is going to give me all the members of this. Yes, x is 100, y is 200, z is 300 and a is 400. And one more thing is, when we discussed about super keyword in other video, I told you that using super keyword you can access only immediate parents members. For example, you can observe that here D's parent, immediate parent is C. That means if you are writing a super keyword over here, it's going to access the members of class C. It will not have any access to B or A if you are using super keyword. So super refers to immediate parent. So this is another level or another type of inheritance, that is multi-level inheritance. And it doesn't mean that you have to always create the object of the last level of the class over here. It is not necessary. I have created object of D because I wanted to show you how this object can access the members of itself as well as its parent classes. So I have created this. If you wish to create any other object, like I want to create object of class C, then you can do that. So I will remove this and change this, but here you can see that when I am trying to print A, it shows some warning message over here because this variable or the data member A that is not there in class C or any of its superclasses. It is there in its subclass, that is in D. So class C cannot see what is there in class D, whereas class D can see what is there in class C, B as well as class A because they are all the superclasses. So if you are doing this and if you are trying to access A, it will not execute. So let's remove this. Now it will show only the values of x, y and z, that is 100, 200 and 300. So this is all about multi-level inheritance. And coming to another type of inheritance, we call it as hierarchical inheritance, wherein in case of hierarchical inheritance, there will be many subclasses from many subclasses that get extended from one superclass. For example, here class A is the base class and class B is extended from class A, and now I will write class C extends A instead of B. I will remove this and I will make it as A. So let's not have this, remove this. So what we have class A, that is a super class for both class B as well as class C. So this is called as hierarchical inheritance. And now if we wish to print the values of x, y and z, then we will have to define the objects of B as well as C over here. B object 1, object 2 equals to new B, yes, and then class B, here we have to use object 2, and then look at this, we have the value of x in A, y is 200 that is in B, and z is 300 that is in C. So when you create object of B, you can have access to x as well as y because B is subclass of A. And when you create object of C, you can have access to x as well as z because C is also a subclass of A. So that's the reason when we try to print this z using object 1, it is not showing any error messages. Even if you make it object 2 also, there will not be there will be error here because object 2 is class B's object and z belongs to class C. So there is no relation there. I should have told you this. Yes, we should talk about this. When I'm accessing X, you can access this using object 1 or object 2. It is not going to make any difference because both object 1 and object 2 are the objects of the subclass of class A. So, whether you are using object 1 or object 2 to access the value of X, there is no problem here. They will have all the permission to access that. So, here you let's see what will be the output of this. So this is 100, 200 and 300. So let me change this to object 1. Then also we should get the same result because subclasses will have access to its superclass. Yes. So this is another type of inheritance, that is hierarchical inheritance. We do have some other types of inheritance, for example multiple inheritance. In case of multiple inheritance, there will be a class which gets inherited from more than one base classes, which is derived from more than one base class. So for example, there is a class A and there is a class B, and then we are going to derive a class C from class A as well as class B. So that type of inheritance is multiple inheritance. In case of Java, multiple inheritance can be implemented using a concept called as interfaces. So we will be discussing about interfaces in the next video. Till then, try to practice all these concepts like single inheritance, hierarchical inheritance and multi-level inheritance. And in the next video, I am going to show you what is the order of execution of constructors when it comes to multi-level inheritance. After that, we will be discussing about the interfaces. Using interfaces, Java implements multiple inheritance. That's a very important concept. So that's all for now. Try to practice all these, and if you have any queries or doubts, feel free to ask me. You can write it in the comment section. And till then, take care. Bye bye. Thank you.